long ball number 2 here. The rumor of Miami's death, greatly exaggerated. We've spent some time here on the show, and I know plenty of other programs have spent a lot of time saying, are Inter Miami cooked? Are they too old? Can they not do it anymore? This weekend maybe proved otherwise. Columbus didn't have their best day, but I saw them in the reverse fixture a couple weeks ago, and Columbus much stronger there, but over the weekend, 5-1 in favor of the Pink Ones.
Yeah, I don't think it should be overlooked that Columbus really suffered at the back because Patrick Schulte was missing. He was injured.
What a difference.
He's not going to play the Gold Cup, not going to be the Gold Cup roster for the U.S. men's national team. But yeah, I hate to be overly critical of Nicholas Hagen, the Guatemalan goalkeeper who stepped in for Schulte, but he set the tone. He makes the mistake. Was it the second goal? Was the Messi chip? I mean, what are we? What are we even doing?
That's the worst player in the whole entire planet to miss kick it to from the goalie. I mean,
yeah, again, I don't know that this is not Miami coming back and showing that they're not dead yet, as you just said. There is probably something to this. I mean, anytime Lionel Messi goes off 2 goals, 2 assists, you're thinking, okay, the engines are going again. Suárez obviously gets a goal, but that looked like a Columbus team with that tone set by the mistake at the back and all of that just wasn't in it. Now, are they bad? Is Columbus bad? No, we don't think they're bad. Does this prove Miami is going to be contender for MLS Cup title? I think they probably still were, even with the dip in form. I don't think they're 4 goals better than Columbus most days. I think this is an aberration of a match that really, again, will build Inter Miami's confidence. We'll take some heat off of Mascherano and maybe give them some reason to think they can go into the Club World Cup period coming up for them and do something, because they don't want to embarrass themselves there. But it is kind of a weird result.
At the opposite end of the table in Major League Soccer, though, 2 cellar dwellers got a very rare win. And for the LA Galaxy, their first ever win, or first win of the season, they've gone, this is match week 15, 14?
I believe that's their 17th match of the season, and they get their first win.
Victory. So they beat Real Salt Lake 2-0. So Salt Lake, the paper bag award for being the first team to be defeated by LA Galaxy in 2025. And then DC United, you said they got a result as well?
Yeah, they went to Cincinnati and won, which is big. I mean, that is. It doesn't really matter how you do something like that when you're having the season DC United is having. You're like, oh, take 3 points away in Cincinnati? Yes, sir. Let's go. We have been, and we talked about this, I think, last week, the next up potentially to be fired in Major League Soccer in terms of head coaches. And we're not rooting for anybody to lose their job, but I think both Pablo Mastroeni and Troy Lesesne were on our list. Mastroeni didn't help himself with the loss to the Galaxy, the first team to lose to LA in 2025. And Troy Lesesne,
we had him on our list last week of hot seat potentials, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. I just said that. Yeah. And I think Troy Lesesne obviously has helped himself a bit with the victory in Cincinnati. And it doesn't mean that things are all turned around for DC or even for LA, for the Galaxy. We do know that the Galaxy probably aren't good enough this year to make the playoffs. But I guess now, if you're a Galaxy fan, you can dream that you go on this second half run and you just start racking up victories. I do think I got to go back and look at. I saw a stat from a friend of mine, Jeremiah O'Shan. You guys know he covers the Sounders for Sounder at Heart. I think last week I don't know if I saved the post on Blue Sky, but he shared something about a number that said basically if the Galaxy win out this year, they can't get it was something about they can't get to their point total from last year, even if they win out the rest of the season. Like, that's how far gone this year is for 2025 for the LA Galaxy. But again,
can you take a wager on, do they make the playoffs? Like 17 games in after their first win, do they go on some run and like make an eighth
we really would have to check the permutations on that, like to see if it's even possible based on where other things are in the conference. It would be an incredible story. It would be weird. Not sure it would reflect all that well on MLS, but it would be an incredible story if somehow they managed to do something like that. Here it is. The Galaxy would win every single game from now until the end of the season, would still finish with fewer wins than they had all of last year. Even if they won every game from now to the end of the season, they would finish with fewer wins than they had in 2024. And obviously, they were a champion last year. Not first place in the I think they missed out by what? They missed out
What
by
was it, like
a
1
goal
point or goal
difference.
difference? It came down to
Goal
the final
difference.
day.
Yeah, it was goal difference. Yeah, pretty incredible.
And then, in the East, a rare 2-1 win for DC United. Gabriel Pirani and William Connor Antley getting on the score sheet for DC United. Not players I'm overly familiar with. Not Christian Benteke or anyone leading the front line.
I believe Benteke's hurt right now. So again, more of a reason to give credit to DC United for pulling off something that is difficult, which is to go away and beat one of the best teams in the league. Cincinnati's one of the best teams in the league. I mean, I don't think anybody really has any doubts about saying that. So for DC, could be massive. Could be massive. We shall see.
Big weekend for the Cellar Dwellers. Bad weekend for Ohio teams. Columbus and Cincinnati both going down. And my friends that in the Columbus Crew world, apparently every time that Nicholas Hagen doesn't make a starting lineup for goalkeeper for Columbus, the Guatemalans come hard into the chat. And so it'll be interesting now that he did get his shot and it went so poorly. I'm curious what the Guatemalan voices in the crew world will sound like. We'll see if they're a bit tempered. It's
a big Guatemalan community in my area. Actually, maybe I should go take do some polling on how they feel about
Man on the street. What do you think about Hagen's performance for Columbus?
Pretty sure I have Guatemalan neighbors, maybe a block over. Right? I should go knock on the door and see what's going on with Nicholas. I don't know if it's Hagen, because in Spanish, of course, you don't usually say the H. You say it's a silent thing. Is it Agan? Again? I don't know. Maybe it is Hagen. Maybe he's gringo somewhere. Go ahead.
One of the things that we've learned each other in this remote relationship we've had, your Spanish pronunciation is probably I'd go to if we're on a 50-50 on which way to go. I'd go with yours.
I mean, but in this case, I'm very doubtful of my pronunciation. So I don't want and maybe Crew fans would know better. Andrew Johnson is in the chat, and he says that they know that he's bad, right? Spencer Doherty. Schulte was injured, and Crew fans knew the backup goalkeeper is not good at all. If Schulte plays this game, the Crew win 3-2. That is Spencer's opinion. So that's a pretty strong statement that it's the goalkeeper might have been the problem down in South Florida.
Yeah, fans want Schulte back.